Hey Moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I know you are absolutely just trying to figure out how to plan for the future. I know the internet, the media, the whole world is just full of so many pieces of input, AI, global politics, every single thing that they just throw at you constantly, and everything to just scare the shit out of you. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? And this is for everybody at every level, right? We're going into a unprecedented moment in the history of humanity, in the history of reality. We're going into an unprecedented moment where there is no reference point. So what do we do about our future? This is what we're going to focus on. So at whatever level that you're at, the most important thing to understand, no matter what it is that you've got going on, you're trying to rise up and become a much better mogul. Maybe you're really focused on wanting to become a power couple and align in a purpose with a great partner. Maybe you're here to turn your business into an incredible empire that transforms humanity, or you want your family and your family company to just become a multi-generational wealthy dynasty. And this is what you're wanting, but you're getting so much information bombarding you from here, there, everywhere. How do you plan for the future? What are the things you should be focused on? Because we're in a new world. We now have an entirely new world of media, technology, creator economy. We have that. We have an incredibly, massively shifting financial industry. It is now the digital currency, the blockchain, the crypto, the BTC, the fiat currency, tanking, all of these things. We have so many different things to figure out. We are a cohort that has more to learn than any other cohort in human history. We are changing realities, right? We have the AI, the technology, the shifts. What are we doing? We're not Googling now, we're chat GPTing, everything is shifting. And we know AI is the beginning of what is actually going to happen in technology. Then there's the biotech. We can be super healthy, live forever, just be like putting our bio results like on the scoreboard if we want it. We can not die now. We can live forever. We have so much to connect to at this point. And we still just got to take care of this human. And now, like, you have to literally be a freaking superhero. You can't just be a great empire maker and build your empire. You can't just have a great family and build your family dynasty. You can't just be a great leader. You can't even just be a mogul. You have to be like a media broadcasting mogul. Like now we all have to have a broadcast company. It is just insanity. It's so funny. I look back, at a time when I became a psychologist and I left the corporate world as a trainer in the corporate world and a big regional leader in a corporation, and entered into the field of psychology. I was instantly an entrepreneur. I knew that was my track. Everything was so easy. I created 2 offices. I had this amazing practice. I had one website. I literally just kicked ass, had hobbies, had like a whole life, had all these things that you could go do, was dancing, doing all this stuff. And then you also got to do a little bit of this social media. This is completely different now. Like I fast forward, I don't know, it's like 13 years or something, but maybe a little less. Let's call it 10 years. You now have to literally be a artificial technology expert. You have to be a media mogul broadcasting. You can't just do a little social media. Like we just are about to launch a podcast because like, of course you have to have a big podcast. You have to have a media empire going, and we're getting ready for this. And I am just laughing. Like you guys, like, how do we plan for the future? This is really something, moguls. This is the world we're in now. You have to be an expert in the new financial realm of digital currency. You need to be an investor trading the markets because you don't know if your job is even going to exist anymore. So here we are. It's like everything. You have to literally become a super mogul. You have to be powerful on every level. I'm not making up the rules of the game. I'm just trying to help you navigate it. I just think back on all the people that I've ever done transformations, all these amazing people, including, just incredible high net worth and ultra high net worth people that ran these, they run these incredible companies, and what they could do at that time to run a company. And now we flash forward, and I've just seen it over at least a decade, if not more. We have got to now be super moguls. And the question is, how do we plan for the future? How do we make sure that whatever level we're at, if you are running an empire or you know you are going to have to run an empire eventually, what do you do, moguls? How do you plan? How do you become what is effectively if we think about, well, what is effectively a mogul, which means a super powerful person on every level of reality. How do we become a great reality maker? Because the previous moguls of previous eras, like if we just took Steve Jobs, and what he did through his era, like what level that was, which was massive. He didn't have to be a freaking broadcaster, podcaster, media mogul. I mean, he obviously was in so many ways, and that's how he created stuff. But, he wasn't sitting there also hosting a podcast, being like a super production specialist, a broadcaster, a technological genius. It's all of it now. You are a visionary, an executor. You are a digital currency expert and a trader and an investor. Now you are not just doing social media. You are a media mogul broadcaster. It is over the top, and this is the beginning, moguls. Now you don't just know technology and some software platforms to run your company. It's now run on AI. You used to have a team. Now you have the AI helping you. How do we run a company? Who do we need? Who do we don't? We are in the biggest transition that humanity has ever seen, and it is the beginning, moguls. And I'm here with you, and I get it, and I'm going to answer one of the most important strategies that you're going to do, and you're invited to do, in order to be able to start to plan for a future that is unprecedented, that will require more of human beings than any era, any has ever been, and any cohort has ever had required of them. We already are a human cohort where people are depressed, anxious, exhausted, suicidal, isolated, lonely, separated, divorced, nobody likes anybody. It is a moment where humans are, like, a few humans are at the top, and the masses are like at the bottom. And then no matter if you are at the top, you've never done this thing, you are still having to become a mogul on steroids. This is an important strategic time. And what I want to invite you to is to understand that the most important strategy you can do to be able to adapt to all of that is this, moguls. It is not about trying to be the former human and then literally just run yourself ragged. Like, we already know that over the years, since everything got introduced, right? The internet gave us all this opportunity for an online business. We had the funnels, the marketing, the social media, social media, good. Then people became super experts. Then the YouTube, and then all of a sudden they're podcasting. There's videos is everything, but no, now podcasting. But wait, it's not just a little podcasting. It is now. We're replacing old media. Now we're podcasting, broadcasting, high production. You have seen, as this has evolved, as we have been evolving that people have been just trying to keep up. And now I do this, and now I'm right there with you. I remember, a time when I ran an amazing company and I literally worked 7 days a month and made almost $1 million doing that without all of this stuff. Like, it's kind of fascinating, and had all this free time, was completely healthy, slept, had weekends, had evenings. It's kind of unbelievable to me now to even realize that. So what I want to say is we're in a new moment, and there is no way that we can use our same old human being self and just keep adding more and more and more. Some people, based on their human design, are able to adapt, and most people aren't. Depending on your human design, you might be a 5-1 or a 6-2. You might be a manifesting generator. You might have some ability to be that Herculean. But depending on what you are likely not in an evolved enough state to become what is effectively the new human, the new quantum, just exponential being. And so what is important is, as a foundation for all of this, is not just thinking of it as I got to go to this, I got to learn this, digital currency, AI, and whatever comes after that, robotics, be superhuman, live forever, all of this stuff, media broadcaster, let alone just doing the regular everyday stuff. It's a new moment. And you're never going to be able to do that on your current operating system. So what I invite you to begin to think about, moguls, is mutation, is beginning to have a strategy for literally mutating yourself so you become a different being where all of that makes sense. Because what's happening is evolution is bringing us further into this new era because it is evolving us there. But because human beings are in a system, unfortunately, where we were suppressed our whole lives and we were programmed and oriented into being slaves with the job instead of full, expansive human beings that are powerful with a purpose, we've been suppressed our whole lives and we have all these big responsibilities, but we were suppressed and compressed. And now they keep doing that. Well, they scare the shit out of you with all the media. They're suppressing you with fear, but then requiring you to be superhuman. So it's going to be essential, moguls, that you start to consider the very mutation of your being into a different type of being. Because evolution is taking us there, but nobody has designed a process for the human assets, you, and the human technology, all of us, to mutate as the entire reality field is mutating, and only a minority of advanced people are able to do that. They're the ones that are so mutated that they are literally creating the new reality. They are mutated ahead of you, right? So think about that, moguls. There are people who have been mutating ahead of you. They receive the new reality, they put it into reality, and then all of us have to adapt to that. And that's always been the case. It's always been, though, a much more subtle process and maybe a thing here or there. Like, there's the radio, and then everybody adapts slowly. There's eventually the television, and then everybody adapts slowly. Way down the road, there's the computer, and everybody adapts slowly. And eventually the phone, and we go slow, and we slow, and then everybody finally adapts and mutates into a new being, a new species, as we have been mutating into a technology species. So we have advanced people mutating very fast. They are in the areas of the finance and the AI and the robotics and the health technology and in my case, the transformational technology. My company and I have been doing mutational, transformational technology helping people mutate and innovate very fast for many years, because that's what they wanted. They wanted to be advanced while everyone else is taking their time adapting, which is not how you want to play the game. So we now have a different game because we're in a new age. We're not in the industrial age anymore. We're in the new age, the technological revolution. We've gone from the right angle cross of planning to the left angle cross of the sleeping phoenix. And we are rising out of sleeping in a 3D reality. We have been compressed. You have a job, you have one job, you have one revenue stream. I mean, this is bizarre, right? Compared to what the most advanced people in the world are doing. They are just creating realities. And then depending on where you are, you're either creating them and people are coming in yours, or you're just belonging in someone else's instead of creating yours. So we have a new moment. We're not just with one new piece of technology. We're not just with one advancement. We are going from one reality to another reality. A reality that is taking us into a stage beyond the Homo sapien, the wise man being. We are going into a new stage of species called the Mogul lumen. Powerful being of light. We are becoming technology beings. We have been advancing there slowly, subtly, and now we're going into the hyper advanced stages of mutation. There is no opt out. There is no arguing with it. There is no delaying it. It's very bizarre to me to think that humans want to try to delay evolution. I find that fascinating. It's the dumbest thing we could do, because that's what's happened to humanity. Evolution keeps making more technology through us, and then the humans are behind it because the humans are resisting the changes because they were so programmed through the stupid slave school system. It's not even a real education system, to be small, scared. You're programmed to be suppressed, small, and scared, while you're here to be absolute quantum lumen beings. So to plan for the future, and I've got a lot more to say about this on my channel. There's lots of videos, but to plan for the future, moguls, I invite you to start really thinking about mutation. I've been doing a transformation company for many years, but we're getting more accurate and being willing to say this is about transmutation. We are moving beyond Homo sapien, where we were in a survival frequency, where everything we did was about surviving. Go get a job to survive, which is bizarre. How about go make a reality to thrive, but you were taught to get a job for security, even though one revenue stream, depending on some other person, is strange to me. But I'm a projector in human design, so I'm a future person. So I've been living in this future for a long time. It's finally catching up. I'm so happy about that. But now we need to bring everyone into it. So it's about just connecting to. There's not a huge moment of like thing you have to do at the second other than this. I want you to start connecting to the process of mutation. Not resisting the changes, not bitching, complaining, oh my God, how are we going to do it? It's on. Evolution, creation, the creator is creating through us, and all the advanced beings that are doing all this were created for this moment, because it's been seeding people into the reality, bringing them in. We call it birth, but it's sequencing people in, evolutionarily speaking, so it can run the new reality through them. So there are people that were seeded for this in the earlier parts of technology: radio, TV, computer, phone, la la la, podcasts, AI, digital currency. And there were people seeded along the way. Now we have a new whole cohort of people. This is why all the young people cannot tolerate the current reality, because they're not made for it. They're made for the new one. That's why they're creating it, and that's why they're going to go into it and thrive. That's why all they've ever known is technology. We say this is terrible for them. This is what they were created for, but that sucks for them because they had to come into one world where their parents are in one world and raising them that way, but they're of the new world. But the new world isn't fully built yet, because you know why? Here's how you plan for the future, because you're here to create it, especially if you're part of the younger cohort. And if we're here now, we're here to create the new civilization. That's what we're doing. Out of 3D suppression, compression, oh my God, this like minimal, limited, awful, awful reality where everybody's suffering and it's so limited. Humans can only do this. We only know what we can touch. It's like, no, the quantum reality always exists. You've just been compressed. Like, this is all reality is. So you were controlled, you were conquered, you were just suppressed so you could just be made to do what other people wanted you to do. But now it's like you have got to be a mogul and mogul up. That's the future plan. And you can't stay with the old programming, which is like, I'm a Homo sapien human, and we can only run this fast, do this much, we have to sleep. Like, no, that human does not fit the new reality. So there are advanced beings that are already mutated and creating the reality. There are advanced beings that are mutating faster and creating it. There are beings that are knowing that they have to do this. Like myself is a bridge being. I came in for the new reality, but to help bridge people from the old one to the new by having to suffer through the original reality I came into as a projector. I was built for the new reality, but had to live in the 3D reality, watching everybody do whatever they do and being like, this is how it's going to be. And mostly being so far ahead of my time that it didn't make sense to a lot of people other than my early innovating clients who said, I would rather be that kind of human than be a limited earthly human. So we now have beings that are like, okay, we're shifting from the old to the new and massively, rapidly adapting and making mutation a priority. Those are the people that our company is about training. So I'm just inviting you, wherever you are, to be clear that if you are here on this earth at this time, my invitation for you about how you can plan for the future is to make a mutational priority for you, you and your partner, you and your company, you and your family, whatever it is you got going on, your community, your friends. If you are not actively mutating to become the new Mogul lumen species, knowing that Homo sapien is out, it is done, it is over, it is wrapping up. That's why there's all the new types of humans who cannot handle this reality, because this reality we're transitioning from was made for Homo sapiens by Homo sapiens at the end of Homo sapien. And the new beings came in as new Mogul lumens, having to suffer through the tail end of what I've been in my whole life, going like, this is a absolute low frequency place, but they are sick from it. Like I had to be able to, and as so many of us, be able to rise above it to be here now, but so many of the new cohort cannot, they're so not designed for it. Like people like me, and if you're of a certain stage, you were designed to bridge both worlds. And if you're part of the really new cohort, you cannot tolerate this reality and you must go forward and adapt and create the new one. But if you're from really steeped in the old reality, your mutation will require even more for you because you were built for the old reality and it's not clear that you're built for the new one, but you can adapt if you make mutation the most massive priority that you possibly can. So never before has a cohort of beings ever been at this tipping point of an active mutation that was subtle and subtle and subtle for decades and decades, and then it's ramping up and speeding up, and now we have this and now we have that, and oh my God, it's faster, and now we have to do 5,000. It's because we're in a new world. That other world is going away. Say goodbye, let it go, release it. It's not going to be here no matter what you do. Adapting, mutating, transforming, transfiguring yourself in your reality. This is what we've been doing for many years. We've been doing reality making making moguls out of Homo sapiens, turning them into the highest, most powerful creator, mogul, powerful, authentically powerful people, activating their human design into the highest level so they could be rocking it in life and in this new timetable, in this new era. Now that's going to take on a whole new meaning. It's an entirely new moment of it. We thought we were doing a lot of great stuff. That was preparation for what rapid transformation and transmutation really needs. Good news. It was a lab. We did it with innovative clients. We tested it. We know exactly what works, and we know with the few people it didn't work on, why. And we know exactly why. Selection of those who can mutate into the new species and those who are willing to do whatever it takes. And if those two things are not there, then it means that people are part of the grouping that will eventually fade out, will eventually go extinct because Homo sapien will be done. And that's what's happening. We are in a selection event. We are in a mutational event. And what I am saying to you, moguls, is, and I'm sorry about this, but most of the world does not care about how this works for you. They're building the AI, the digital technology, they're building everything you have to adapt to, but you will find nowhere where anyone, except for here, is saying, we're making the technology to mutate you as human technology. You are the human assets that must be considered the greatest technology, but you'll only be considered the greatest technology if you learn how to mutate and transform at this level. Otherwise, the AI will be the better technology, the digital currency will be the better technology, the robots will be the better technology, and there's no escaping that. So you must, as the technology that you are, whether you know that or not, that has been our perspective here at the Moguls Club for a long time. You are technology, and we have been upgrading you for almost around 14 years now. And if you are not seeing yourself as the technology that 100% needs to mutate, upgrade, and adapt and become a completely new being and a new species, you won't be planning for the future very well. And I want to invite you to plan for the future by making your mogul mutation your priority. All right, moguls, I invite you to receive this upgrade. The channel is full of hundreds of videos all about this, how to upgrade yourself. And we're starting to put more about this mutation. I invite you to receive this upgrade. I invite you to watch every video you can. I invite you to check out themogulsclub.com and see what we're all about, and perhaps make a connection with us, and let's see where you're at and where you need to be and what's needed for you. Because mutation is your number one strategy. If you just try to learn the AI and you try to learn the digital currency and you're with this particular being that you are right now, it may, because you're super adaptable, because you happen to be born that way, it could work. But for most of you, you need a particular transformational, transmutational strategy. And that's what we are the world's experts in. All right, also, in the description of this video, there's a bunch of links with a bunch of different resources. There's my transformational books. You can go and look at what your human design is, so we know what you are, what you're here to be in this new era, how your mutational strategy will need to work. You can get that for free. Let us know, put it in the comments what your design is, and scale of 1 to 10. What priority is this for you at this point? 10 being the highest. Where are you with putting your own mutation of yourself from Homo sapien into the new Mogul Lumen being? Where are you at this point, and what do you need for you to prioritize that? Let us know. All right, moguls, way to take this upgrade, way to focus in, way to mogul up, and begin to plan for the future with your number one baseline focus. And if you just start thinking of that, connecting to it, seeding it within your programming, it's going to start to awaken you, bring you into a new level of yourself, and start to activate you so that you can connect and get a plan going. All right, moguls, way to tune in, way to mogul up, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.